Right, Milesy. Let's see if this is actually working. Dave Miles joins me. I just had a slight technical glitch, but I'm just trying to work out. It'll be about a 40-second delay. And if you are watching this on YouTube, we will pop it back up if it has done a funny thing. But I think we are actually working. I'll go live onto Twitter as well. Probably shouldn't have done that one, but anyway, that's okay. Just got to wait and see, Miles, if it catches up. Firstly, Miles, hello.
Hi, Paulie. How are you, mate?
Good. I don't know if you can see it on your Facebook feed or not. It is saying we're live. So yep, and you're there. So we're all good to go. Just got to give me 1 sec, Miles. Can you? You probably want to say a few things because you've had a pretty big week. So I might just leave you for one thing for a minute, mate. You're on your own. I just got to go and reset one computer. But you can vouch for me. I did have a slight issue then for some funny reason. So I'll leave you with the camera for 1 sec, mate.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Yeah, no, I just would like to say thank you to everybody that reached out for the last 2 weeks after the passing of my father, Marty, who, was a great supporter of the game, great supporter of a lot of people in the game. And it was an amazing turnout on Friday that was run beautifully by Mr. P. Campbell and Campbell's Comments and Rob Auber. They did a super job, but I personally would like to thank everybody that reached out. The turnout was amazing. The messages that we received have been fantastic, and I can tell you that we sent him off with a great party that allegedly might have finished in the wee hours of the morning.
That definitely. I did believe that. So yeah, that's fine. I'm back now, mate. I apologise and do apologise for everyone. Everyone knows how it works. I just had to get the comment section going, but I was organised on time, wasn't I, Milesy? But for some reason, it just threw a little spanner, and hopefully it is working properly. But, yeah, and it was a very well-done day for yourself and your whole family, and I think well done to everyone, mate. And thank you very much for joining me. We have got a harebrained idea, Milesy and I. Well, no, I have, and Miles is going to be a part of it. We're going to do another podcast, but we'll get that up and going shortly. But it just didn't happen this weekend, but possibly next weekend doing a racing review of what's been going on. So please, go from there. Stacey White is on there. Hello, Stace. Stace, of course, had a pretty big night Saturday night, Dave, with Bet and Win.
She did. Fantastic for Dave and Stace. He's a super trotter. I think he's given them a few headaches over the last 12 months, but I know better than any when he went past me one night in Queensland how good he is, and he does seem to like it up there. Unfortunately, he succumbed to a foot infection before the Great Square, but they've got him back on track, and he looked to win with these Saturday night.
No, he was awesome, and he was terrific. And we will touch on those heats towards the end. We're going to get Darren Clayton's going to come on the phone and join us as well going through. So please, if you've got any question, anything to get involved with the show, you know how it all works. Fire the questions in. I've got a few little things to get through, a couple of little highlights to go from there, but we will probably touch on the night's racing at the end of it. Milesy, the ticker down the bottom though, what show have you found or into right at the minute? Because it is cold, especially at the beautiful Monagita where the sun shines 24/7 over there. What binge show have you got into?
No, I haven't binged one for a little while. I did binge the Lincoln Lawyer series that I was a fan of. I actually read the book a long time ago, and then the Matthew McConaughey movie came out, which was really good. But I have binge watched the Lincoln Lawyer series, and probably the last one before that was The Last Dance of the Michael Jordan show. That was super.
That's interesting because the Lincoln Lawyer's been out for a long time. And me and another good friend were talking about it the other day. His wife has only just got into it, and it's I find it funny, but anyway, that's okay. But it is a really, really good show. I got into another one this week. In 1 week, I watched the whole series of Department Q. I think in 3 days. Good show.
Yep.
Good twist. Department Q. So get involved in that one. I like this one, Milesy. Stacey, hi team. We're missing your company here this year, Milesy. She's not missing me, but she's missing you.
Oh, I think Dave might be missing me on the golf course. He won't have a golf partner, which I'm dirty about. I think this is the first Queensland I've missed in 3 years. So, you never know. I might just make a little appearance up there for final night just to make sure they behave themselves, those two.
Could be a couple of us, and we want them all the best. It went terrific too. We will touch on the rest of that. Going through. Right, Miles, plenty of little notes to get through, but please, any of your highlights as well, and anyone that gets involved. Alex Hurley, we'll get a Darrawee Gwim update, weather update at some stage tonight because Curls will be on there. Graham Hand, Porky, hello to you again, mate. Regular viewer. I know Porky, I think he's on the South Island. I think he's a dairy farmer, so I reckon he'd be inside tucked up nice and warm right now as well. But few little things to cover off on, but a good mate of yours and mine, mate, Robbie Morris, today etched up a milestone, 22,000 wins, which is huge effort for Robbie. Does a great job. 2,200, sorry.
I was going to say.
Good.
I know he's good, but he's not that good.
Good pick up, I can say that. But that's a mighty achievement, isn't it?
Oh yeah. No, he's a great driver. He's a terrible drinker. We could get talking about Bathurst one day when he was a little bit under the weather, when somebody might have stitched him up the night before a little bit. But listen, he's very professional. He's a workaholic. He and Kerry, they're crazy. Those two. They love working teams of 70 and 80, and with their dad alongside them, and Joshy Gallagher. They've done a great job. They're very consistent. There's hardly a week goes by that they're not getting a winner at Menangle. And he'll be up there terrorising G. Dixon and all the crew up there and causing trouble, he and young Archie. It'd be good to see.
But I believe he got that winner today. 10 degrees feels like 6. Thanks, girls. I better double check this, but I thought he got it today at Menangle. And that's what I was about. Well, that's what I was about to say, though. That's the odd part about it. Generally, he does stay up there for the entire time. But I'm pretty sure. I've just got to double check now because, obviously, there it is there. Yeah, Sapphires and Diamonds, race 3. So for Gary Hargrove. So, he's putting in the hard yards, that's for sure.
Kerry might have put the foot down. He might have had to go home this year. He's, had too much fun up there previous years, I reckon, probably.
Joshy's there as well, though. Joshy drove today as well. It's a bit of a curveball, actually, having a metropolitan, or not it is a metropolitan meeting, I suppose, Menangle on a Monday now, the new look Mondays.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think they've only just recently started it, which
today's the first day.
Yeah, and it sort of, I had a couple of runners there Saturday night, and it threw me a curveball because we used to be able to nominate for Melton, have a look at the noms and see whether we could get a run, and then make our mind whether we could go to Melton or Sydney. But now with the Monday meeting being run, they are closing the nominations for Menangle on a Monday. So for those trainers out there that have been having a look at both meetings, it just makes it a little bit more difficult.
I don't mind that idea, and I might ask you a question, actually, one that's been floated around there. Joe Pace, I think you'll be impressed with your hat. I actually do like your hat. Are you out of curiosity, are you an F1 nut or not?
I go in stages. I have this year a little bit because the Aussies having a crack. Oscar's flying, but it just comes down to time, Paulie. Sometimes when we're racing a lot, we don't have a chance. But I've been involved a bit this year, but probably the last 2 or 3 years haven't. But I do like I did like the F1 show. That was fantastic. The document.
And that's converted a lot of people. If you are into F1s, Oscar was robbed last night. He got a 10-second joke penalty. It really was. So he ran second, but he's a good man. I tell you, I think he wants to spray him, but he's actually not saying anything. He's behaving himself very, very.
Joey, first time Joey's behaving himself.
No, Oscar, not Joe. No, Joey.
Oscar, I was going to say. Yeah, Joey won't behave himself.
Joe will be, I think, because he's in Queensland and he didn't enjoy the greatest success the other night. I don't know exactly where he finished, but unfortunately jumped it off on the first turn. I did see that part, so that was a little bit unfortunate for him, but I think caught wide and had to go forward. So Jenny Gallagher's watching, Timmy Bellman, repatching. Hello to all you guys. If you want to get involved, tell me a good show if you're watching a good show. Joe, surely you've got time up there. Instead of terrorising all the locals up there, you'll have time to be able to watch some shows or two going forward. So that is good. The other odd one I wanted to show for you, and this is care of Matty Markham, who is actually Stacey's brother. I was about to say brother-in-law, but he will say he's the best Markham, but Stacey's clearly the best Markham. But little odd one that happened the other night. Brenton Timmy White, and it was in the middle of minutes, trained a winner on the North Island with now I'm going to have to get it up. Yeah, we'll do this, Miles. I'll make sure. So, because it gets boring when I'm just clicking buttons and everyone's like, what is he doing? I've got to hit this.
there's a good race in him somewhere along the line.
Yeah, I think Bobby was a very frustrated man. Even the sprint lane he was still waiting for that sprint lane, wasn't he, on the head-on shots? You can see that as well. So I've got it now, Miles. You see, so and his son Harrison drove the horse in Auckland. So father and son. I just reckon that's something really cool, that one.
100% family show. We always talk about that and how it's a sport of everybody's involved and all their families involved, and it's no different from New Zealand to over here.
Right. I have an issue because I think, and I'll fix it up when I go to this other screen, it goes silent. Okay. Do me a favour, everyone. Just bear with me for 1 second, Milesy. I can't do it any other way. You and I'll be able to keep talking, and we can keep talking. It's just going to take me.
Breaking a song or something.
Hey?
A little bit of background.
Nah, hang on. Just bear with me. Just put it there. Right. Now we're back. So we should have audio now. I do apologise for that. Everything should be back ready to go. So we won't be silent anymore. So we're good to go now, Milesy. We've got that part sorted. Right. Little things. People will be seeing all my little tricks behind the scenes.
Somebody wanted to turn me off. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Who said? Someone said that wanted to turn you off.
Yeah.
Right, Phil Williams.
I'm a bit worried about Alex bringing up stories from last Friday night. I'd probably score me not in my best behaviour.
Your audio just went a bit funny then. Hopefully you're still there. Can you talk?
I can. Yeah. Oh. Can I talk? Can I talk? Seriously. That's a question you don't need to ask.
I was like, this is driving me nuts. We've got the good from Alex. We're back and we're back up and going. What was I going to bring up to Phil Williamson? Okay, so this is one, and we'll bring this up with Darren a bit later on. But did you hear he referred to Captain's Mistress not getting a run in the Rising Sun, likened it to the underarm.
Wow.
The Kiwis are stirring things up a bit.
Wow. Yeah, well, and you know what? It won pretty impressive. So, it did what it had to do from the right barrier draw. But, it probably, hindsight's a wonderful thing. We're all good with 2020 with hindsight. But, might have been entitled to run. I don't know if it would have been up in the first three in the big race, but it would have held its own.
It would have drawn well. Barrier draws are big at Albion Park, aren't they?
Oh, fence track there the other night. When they go on these times that they run now, you've got to be on the fence. It's just crazy. Luke Defane jogged a mile and 51. It's just absolutely nuts.
No stories, Milesy, although Miles was hoping you saw her goal celebration for you. You don't actually remember there was a game of football on, I believe.
Oh, there was a game of football on. Unfortunately, I didn't see the goal celebration, but she did tell me before the game she was going to go and kick a goal for Dad. So good on her. I was told that on Saturday, but I definitely didn't see it Friday night. I was seeing plenty of things, most of them double.
I bet you were. Well done to Phil Williamson too. Trained 800 winners just recently as well, so that is awesome. What I will do, Miles, I'll get through one other thing I've got to do. Well, I've got plenty of others from your sponsors all the time, but Mark Hughes and the Woodlands team with the different gravy, Cobber Charge. Now, this horse won yesterday. He's by Lather Up out of Ultimate Art and Art Major Mare. Jeremy Pearson's first winner as a trainer, so well done to Jeremy. He comes from pretty regal blood, though. Well, I don't know if you can say it that way, actually, Milesy, but a wee horse called Master Mood, trained by Kevin Williams and Bonnie, and Jeremy goes out with their daughter.
Wow, he was a good horse, Master Mood. He was a serious beast, and about 14 one hands, I reckon.
Yeah, so Grant and I at the NZB yearling sales, which their entries are open now. I'll get that one done. Debbie Quinlan, hello to you. Jan Healy. Grant and I were at the yearling sales, and back then it was a 2-day thing, and we're coming home from there, and he says, there's some people here that are got services to lather up, and he was working with Kath McIntosh at Lower Long Farms. And I believe, hopefully there's a Kiwi or two watching. I think the road they live on a main road, but the next road over is Meadowlands, or maybe their property is called Meadowlands. So we saw a trotting track. We saw the next road was called Meadowlands. We're thinking, that's got to be close. And he knew they lived in that area. So we thought, we'll just drive in. Sure enough, it was them. So Grant jumped in the gator. They went down and showed him the lather ups and a couple of these other horses and he's down there and he's there for a while and he's thinking, oh, poor old Paulie. I've left him up there all on his own. He said, I got no idea. I got to meet Kevin. I got to spend 25 minutes. I wish I'd had my podcaster and just listen to what he could say. They couldn't find us when we come back. I think I was in the house by that stage having a cup of tea. We'd gone and cut a foot abscess out of a horse. We'd gone through his whole stables, the stables where Master Mood was. He showed me all of his trophies, collections, and the whole box and dice. Talk about an awesome day. And I remember Grant said he was starting to worry. He's thinking, Paulie's going to be there by himself and all sorts. And they couldn't find us sitting inside having a cup of tea. So well done to Jeremy. But that was one of the highlights of one of those random trips you can do.
Yeah. And, Lather Up really should do the job. He's a great racehorse. He's got good blood. And Kath's doing a super job at trying to keep her broodmare numbers up. And I think going forward, I think he's going to be a great bread and butter stallion.
No, he's doing a very, very good job. So, and anyone wondering, I did see Jamie Egan is on there. Jamie, tune in to Woodlands winners on Wednesday. Their stallions will be announced. And I've got the Harass to Trotters jacket on purpose because I was doing stallion videos there. They will be announced within this month as well. So they'll get the videos done and do a proper announcement with those going forward. Stacey's probably watching and probably thinking, I don't know the service fees are coming out, but they are coming out this week, which will be awesome. So, yeah. Tall Tree Stud is that property, but not sure about the road. So, yeah. So I reckon she's right, Tall Tree Stud. So, yeah. But anyway, you can't miss it. It's just off the freeway.
It's obviously got tall trees around it, Paulie.
That's Kiwi land, mate. Kiwi land. So they can grow trees because they get rain and weather. Apparently, talking to see Bray today, she was a balmy 6 degrees or something like that. So Stace isn't missing anything going from there. Grace Jones, let's get Indy Party Mood to Tassie.
Is that the big grey horse? He was super. He's been super the last couple, and Gracie's sweating on getting him down there. So if I get him down there, I might have to give her a drive.
All right. G'day, Paul and David. This is from Jamie Egan. RIP Marty. Whoop. Didn't know Marty, but love following Love and Laughs and hear the Melway stories from Lee going to the races. A lot of great memories. That's one thing the old man was good at was he knew every road in Melbourne from when he was a delivery driver. So he was always keen on telling people the best way to get somewhere. So, and Love and Laughs has been great. The Cell family, I know he's a thoroughbred. It's not the medium here, but he's been super. And hopefully tomorrow at Ballarat, he might be able to put his head in front for him one more time. Yep. Jamie, Alex Hurley, can't believe Jamie gets a trotting winner, converts to the dark side and now wants to breed foals. What was his winner, Hurls? You better tell us the winner. Marshes Road, Anthony Pert saying. So we've got plenty of Kiwis in there. But yeah, so maybe the signpost says Tall Tree Stud, but it's got a signpost of the Meadowlands. But that's how come we drove in on. Anyway, we just took the punt on it, and it was well worth going in there as well. So that was terrific.
It's amazing the stories. I remember going on the New Zealand trip over there, and we got Jack Mulcahy here was the starter at the time. Took us around to Robert Cameron's place, which was amazing, and he
that's where Regan Todd trains from there now.
Little front paddock. He said, I've got a little horse in the front that I think might turn out all right. He said, you probably should remember his name. He's only had one start, but I think he might be okay. He was called Iroquois. And I think Robert knew a long, long time before he really stamped himself on the racetrack, but Robert knew. And, it's the same as your story there, Paulie. You remember those trips and they're great fun. And you definitely remember the Kiwi hospitality. It's fantastic.
Lavros Lodge, I think it's called. Kipros.
Correct.
That's the name of the property, and that's where Regan Todd's training so many great horses coming out of now as well. So
no wonder he's getting winners because the place was fantastic.
It is, isn't it? 2 tracks, and beautiful part of the world. Faithful is his first rider. She's won a few. Very good. Thanks, Hurls. She's doing a good job. She's making us look good. It is one of the cool things I think about New Zealand, and I think it's something a lot of Australians do. I know Mum and Dad do, mate. Their hospitality. That's the one thing that is like inviting people in. Yes.
It's, guaranteed. It's it's as you say, you get a cup of tea or a beer. The Eldhurst, you couldn't walk in the Eldhurst without knowing a trotting person, and it was always great fun, the trips over there.
Yeah, the Golden Mile. The Golden Mile Hotel as well. It's another one that I've been lucky enough to go to, and everyone's there. The Dalgettis going for the best one. We'll get back onto the subject, but the best one I drive in unannounced in a hire car, but it's a nice looking hire car and all the rest. Drive into Benny Hills. Well, did I get some strange looks until I got out of the car, and then I heard, oh, it's only him. They're thinking it was the stewards coming in.
and then the same hairdresser, you and Benny, so you could be brothers.
There's nothing wrong. No, he was looking out to the outside. He might have thought I was Packer or someone like that. But yeah, no, he was looking at me coming in, and he was. They were looking. As soon as I got out, they got it's only him, and I felt deflated. I was like, only him? That's a deflation. So
well, I tell you that the other thing you got in common, you're both punching above your weight, because Marie with you and Justine with Benny is both punching above your weight.
Benny will say that quite often, actually. So.
I'm not going to get into Benny stories because I've spent a couple of Sydney trips and Inter-Dominion trips with Benny, and we've had a lot of fun.
Loves his golf, doesn't he?
He does now. He never used to. He took it up late, so he probably we didn't play too much golf. We probably just drank a lot.
Have you had the opportunity to play with Woodland's own Cameron Grant?
No, I haven't. No, but that sounds like a plan.
Well, they tell me he goes okay. I've been told by Phil Kennard and Ken Brecken, don't take him on. He's pretty mean golfer and all the rest. But then the boys who own Pin Seeker, actually on one of his shows, actually have challenged him. And Cam's he's a little bit windy there. So yeah, so golf's pretty heavy in harness racing, isn't it?
Well, I actually know at the moment. I don't know if you remember the young fella that used to drive. He went to Tassie for a while. Troy McDonald.
Yep.
Worked for Arnold Tabor for a little while, and he went down to Tassie. He's given the horse away a little bit, but I just see on a little Mandalay score this week, he's playing off +1. So wow. I think he'll make the rest of us look pretty ordinary, young Troy.
Wow, that's he used to support the odd haircut from time to time.
Yeah, and I think he's
when I say odd, I mean they're odd.
Yeah. He's very quiet guy, good fella. But I played a lot of golf with him. But he used to play for about 4 or 5. But he's taken it on a bit more serious. And +1 around Mandalay at Beveridge. Yeah, that's a pretty good handicap. So yeah.
What's the gentleman? Anyone wondering where my cat is tonight? It's behind. There's a black curtain behind here, and for some reason it's playing behind there, and it's attacking everything. I've got to get rid of it.
Of course.
The guy from Tassie. He wants to shoot his age. I just can't think of his name. Some of the guys from Tassie will be there. They'll tell me, Jack Trainer. Hello to you, Jacko. And that is the actual Jack Trainer because the photos popped up. So I wonder if he's still overseas or if he's back here. Carl Cody's watching as well. They like it when their names pop up and you read their names. Carl Cody, I'll tell you what. Look at that, Carl. Look at that, eh? So
hang on. The stewards are involved. Shush.
Steve Stevenson.
I'm sure he's glad he's made a comeback. He's been doing every meeting at the back of Burke, I think, in the last 2 months.
He's ready to kill you and I. Dan Emery's watching. Megan Maher's on. Hello to you, Megs.
Dan Emery's on. Frankenstein's on.
He's on regular. He's a regular. Don't pick on the poor bloke. Leave him alone.
Oh, no, and I shouldn't pick on him. He's about twice my size. He's been helping me up since I was 18.
The gentleman in Tassie, he played like in the Singapore, I don't know, league or something like that. He's a very good golfer. He's about 77, 78. Please, someone, Bernie Ring, you might know him. He might be your age, Bernie. And there's another great Queenslander. Great name, isn't it? Bernie Ring. I say it every time he tunes in, but yeah. Anyway, he wants to shoot his score and his age, and he's going pretty bloody close to it. I think he's 77. They reckon he'll hit 80. So when he hits 80, he's got a chance of hitting an 80 on the golf course, which would be terrific, wouldn't it?
That's very impressive. Yep. No, I couldn't do that.
When his name comes, I'll tell you. I can tell you. Nah, it's left me. There was a horse. The Fords brought 2 horses over to Melbourne 2 weeks ago. A trotter and a pacer.
Yeah.
He bred the pacer. So
I'll find it for you, Paulie. It's all right.
Are you going to find it?
I'll find it. Yeah, I'll find it.
All right. I'll do some of my other stuff while you're doing that. I've got to find the right mouse. The nutrient sale dates are out. Don't forget Tasmania yearling sales, 14th of February. Valentine's Day, Milesy. You might be able to, well, we won't go there. 22nd of February, Sunshine Stars in Queensland for the 22nd of February. Sydney, the 8th of March. This is Chariots of Fire week. This is still the traditional time slot that Nutrients sell in the second week in March. It is Chariots of Fire on the 8th of March. There, Bathurst on the 22nd of March. That is one sale you do frequent quite a lot, Milesy, on the 22nd.
Yep.
And also Melbourne. Takes a while, this video turns over on the 12th. Get in touch with the team at Nutrient Equine for all your details going forward. So nutrientstandard it is, .com.au. You'll be able to go from there. But yeah, I'm waiting for one of my Tasmanian friends to get involved in that. Well, you already got plans this Valentine's Day, Miles?
Listen, I've got a plethora of options.
Actually, I can tell you, I'll tell you a plethora of options. Elliot Booth, thank you so much, Grace. Well done. So yeah, Elliot Booth.
So I can stop looking good because I was no hope of finding it.
And Elliot Booth, Milesy, doesn't wear it. Well, his hats are a little bit out there, but he has some of the more special shirts you'll ever see in your life. They are.
Is he as good as Crandell Getty?
Better. No, better shirts than Cran.
Better than Cran. Wow.
Shirts. Yeah, no, his shirts are outstanding. So yeah, thank you very much, Grace, for putting me out of my misery. Here's a marketing ploy, right, for HRV.
Mercedes sponsorship, is that what you're talking about?
No.
Oh.
The Hunter Cup in 2026 is on Valentine's Day.
Oh, there you go.
Well, surely we could have a lover's corner or something like that for Hunter Cup night. We have to do.
Or as my sister used to call it, the Cunter Cup night. You know what dyslexia when you're reading that name, believe me. It doesn't go down well. But on Valentine's Day, it might be appropriate.
It's a G-rated show. Well, it's meant to be. What was I going to say then? You've well and truly thrown me now. But I had a marketing ploy. I think that could actually work. The Valentine's
100%.
A night at Valentine's Day.
I'm sure there's plenty of women out there with the love their spouses to take it. I'm sure there is.
Just see them rocking up. I'll just take you out for tea and rock up to the Melton Trots. That'll go down really well. But anyway.
I took a girl out the other day to one of those places where they cook the food in front of you. It was great. The sausage sizzle, the Bunnings.
He's writing his own jokes. Alex Hurley, Crown very disappointing in the shirt department since in his last visit in Victoria, and that's the issue. Crown's wound down a bit. He's got a little bit more conservative. It's a bit of a worry.
Somebody will have to take his mantle, please.
That was a cunning stunt, David.
Correct.
Coming from Alex.
Correct. Well, you had to read that slowly, didn't you, old fella?
I made sure because there is one thing I do suffer from, and that is it. So going from there. In saying that, if you follow Kentuckiana Lodge, and if you don't, you should, in New Zealand, they've just got back from their trip overseas, and he wore some wicked shirts overseas. He wore some dresses. He wore some very out there things. I think he enjoyed his time away, that's for sure.
I don't know that Korean ever goes on a trip and doesn't enjoy it.
No, but I did have a discussion with him. The Desperate and Dateless Night. See, Bernie Ring, he's onto it. The Desperate and Dateless Honey Cup. That could work. Yeah,
that could 100%.
We could have a
You have a speed dating round, out on the track. Why not? That would singles together.
That could definitely work. That's for sure. That'd be a bit of fun. See, I knew this show would go somewhere. The further you're getting down in that glass, it could end up anywhere.
I'm telling you that could get really interesting because the trotting game's not incestuous at all. So, there wouldn't be any trouble with it. It was something like that.
No. No, I'm not going there. I'm not.
I think you need to change that little icon just up there to on very loose lines.
Yeah, we try to keep it roughly within the realms. Right, Melton, Saturday night. Miles, was there anything there for you? There was what I had two things.
Apparently, yep, there was.
Dead Eat in the first. We had Debbie Quinlan on there before, Sahara Breeze and Young Buckian.
Yeah, super. Yeah, Young Buckian's just tough. You just can't get past him when he finds a top, you know. And Sahara Breeze did as good a job as any to get us close. And you know, Fighter Command was okay for as good as he is.
Yep.
I think he's on his way back. And you know, Kiss following the fence line was quite good too. And D Rowe from Barrier 11, always hard. You know, AJ's team's absolutely flying. But yeah, I think Sahara Breeze running down Yambuki, and that's as good as effort because he's very hard to get past.
He did a great job up the straight. Up the sprint lane, he really knuckled down. Rocket Jet, Jamie Kirk, great story.
Yeah, no, doing a great job there. He's only got a small team. Spent some money gone to New Zealand and bought some nice horses, and great to see Taylor getting some opportunities because she worked for me for a little while and it was amazing. You could put her on the worst horse in track work and she'd beat you. And the horses really do run for her. And once she gets a bit of confidence in herself, because she's a little bit timid, but once she gets up and about and learns that she's as good as she is, she's going to drive a lot of winners.
Alex Hurley's put one there. I think I've just got to find it. I think she says the Hunter of Love.
There you go.
No, the Hunt for Love. She's actually
put, okay.
Yeah, so that could work too. So anyway, we'll keep covered up with that. Taylor Yules spoke outstanding before the race with Timmy, and then afterwards was again and very respectful of Jamie and says all the right things, which was really cool. She actually beat her boss, which was quite interesting. Well, she didn't beat her boss, but her boss's horse home there as well. It's Confidential, Poster Boy doing a great job. It was a nice return to form. I thought your horse was outstanding, Milesy, ING.
Shh, don't tell anyone.
I'm sorry, but put a white sulky on it and you put Big Nick in the back.
I didn't put the bloody white sulky on it. No. He hasn't actually copped the reprimand for that yet because no white gear on my horses. He hasn't copped the reprimand, but yeah, he got away with it this morning. But when I did wake up and I had to set the alarm to watch the race.
Oh, of course you didn't see it.
I did see it, but he was actually better than expected. He was huge, barrier 7, 53 and 5 deep on the corner. He was very good, and I thought all the raises good. Tori and Lukey, they're doing a great job with their little team up at Charlton. No,
absolutely. He's All Talk was again. This horse been going good for a while. I can't believe he was $26 because he has been.
How was he $26?
Yeah,
seriously.
I don't know. Yeah,
everybody black booked him. He's run the week before was huge. G Craven drives as good as anybody. There was no reason for him to be $26 other than barrier 12. And he won like he should have won, to be honest. He won like a $2.50 pop and he should have gone around $5. Seriously.
Yep. Odin never runs a bad race for AJ and Bo Tyndale. Just keeps presenting, doesn't he? I know some people say sometimes he should put his head down, but geez, he's a terrific horse for him. I think it's probably a little bit harsh on him.
He probably just lacks a bit of change-up speed. It's not that he's a non-trier. He just lacks that. And once you get to that grade up, over the 70s, something can sit on you every week. And boy, geez, he does it tough. He's a great little horse. You'd love to own him.
Hit the road, Jack. He was kept very honest in the run. Sagano was impressive, a double for Poster Boy. Didn't pick that one up. Always Dancing, Crocodile Rocks. It was an interesting little race, but Sagano was just too good, wasn't he?
Yeah, the first 3 were great. But the 4th horse, he's very, very green, good time captain. I think you'll find he'll turn into a nice horse.
Got a nice team though. They had a 2-year-old the week before. Ran second, was very nice as well. So yeah.
Yep. Yeah. No, does a great job. The man in pants, Mark Driscoll.
He did.
You wouldn't have seen that on Friday, and I have photo evidence.
No. Sorry, he was standing smack bang in front of my table. So trust me, I did see it. I did want to photo it. So yeah.
Man in pants. Yep.
And
the the first three were awesome, and obviously a bit of a gap back to Good Time Captain. But I think he'll be the one down the track that he'll be winning a maiden or a C1 very, very easy.
Yep. Race 60, Aldebaran Park Trot, Jillaby Ballerini. Tim O'Connor was trying his best to get Glennie Craven to say a rash statement to say that he might be as good as Kihang Sahara. He wouldn't be drawn into it at all, but she is just a lovely filly, this filly, isn't she? And she's going to be around for a while. She's going to race in the good man's races. She's not going to make up numbers. She's better than that.
From the famous Pangratio bloodlines, again, they just keep throwing good horses. Michael and Neville and Louise up there, they do know how to breed a horse, and it's just amazing. It gets me every year. They go through the sales, and they just don't get the prices they should for them. I don't know why. But once again, they've thrown another good one. She looks like a really, really, really good filly. Got feelings, what a training performance from Chris. He's had a lot of trouble with him. He's changed hands at it from Nathan's down to Chris's. But once again, those first two horses stood out in that race. They really did.
Yep, Remus Phoenix was good again. He's a nice horse. And Destria for Lisa. What do they say? Doing its best impersonations of a crippled crab. His last 100 is, if he ever.
That's a D. Raphael line. You've pulled the D. Raphael line.
No, someone else used it the other day.
Really?
Dan used it on this.
That was the David Raphael. Surely you've heard of me line back from the 90s. Wow.
David who? Was that, who'd you say? Adam Cretton, was that who you said?
Now while we're on credits, hang on a minute. Poor credits. Credits ran the. I shouldn't say I couldn't do it, but he ran the marathon on Sunday, and this little blonde girl ran past him with about a kilometre to go, and she'd been driving it at Gold Coast the night before. So
no, she drove at Albion Park. The race was
Albion
at Gold
Park,
Coast.
sorry.
The run race. So
Credits
was in it, was he?
Credits ran 3:04. Kate ran 3:03.
Oh.
And he said to me with about 2Ks to go, he said, I recognise that person going past me. He said, but I can tell you right now, the brain wasn't working. I had no idea who it was. He suffered from cramps. I spoke to him today. The last 8Ks, he suffered from cramps pretty bad. But he's qualified for Boston, and he's going to head off to Boston in April.
I was going to say, like some people who don't run, that's an amazing effort, Curtis, because that is a solid pace. So well done to him. And random question, Milesy, and you may not know the answer. How old would Curtis be? Because he's not young, and I'm not throwing rocks at him in disparaging way. He wouldn't be 40, or would he?
No, he's not. Well, listen, he still looks 12.
Yeah.
He still looks 12. But I'm going to go with 37.
Yeah, that's a big effort.
Yeah, late 30s. And and he said he had. Actually, he might be older than that, because I'm sure he put up on Facebook that he hadn't run a marathon for 20 years. So he might be older than that.
Yeah, well.
He might be 40.
Yeah.
We are getting on. So, yep. He drove a few winners for me, Credits. He was a good little driver.
I've got 12 years. I've got 12 years on that. I reckon he could be 40, mate.
Might be 40, yeah.
Which is sad. Right, Karen Manning, champion reigns woman of our industry, the most winningest female we've ever had in the world. We need to celebrate it, as I think, sing it from the rafters. Had a double. Surfing makes sense. First up for nearly 6 months. I'll actually get it, or it might be over 6 months. Was sold to America and had screws put into a back pastern, because unfortunately when it was sold after that, 3 days later, had a crack in the pastern. So the sale fell through 15th of November to the 5th of July. So just over 6 months. And what a performance that was to get this horse to the line first. Beating Wings on the line. Sweet Ideal was good as well. So those two were good, Milesy. But then to turn around with Vera Lane in the very next race, she's a great trainer. She is an outstanding horse person of our industry.
Oh, she's a freak.
Yep.
She's an absolute freak. And it doesn't get the credit outside our industry that she deserves. If she was a soccer player or an AFL footballer, basketballer, you'd see her on the front of cornflakes packets. You really would. But, actually probably KFC bucket knowing Kezzy, but she dead set. She does not get the recognition outside our sport. One thing I did notice, she's down in the breeding of surfing makes sense. I don't know that she would have bred too many. Kezzy, you have many brood mares, Paulie?
Do you want to know one of my claim to fames?
Oh, here we go. You can make it about you. Go on.
All about me. Fold down, and trained her first winner. I folded it. We folded down. Hang on. We may not have folded that mare down. No, we might not. We fold.
So it's not about you at all, Paulie.
I trained her first winner. I think I'm the only person who's trained a winner for her. That was Swinging with Sandy. And I can't think we definitely have fold a few down here for her, but it is all about me. But you're spot on, and no, I think it's good. But that's just an amazing training performance. I think surfing makes sense. And I did hear in the post race one Piglet, one Grunner. That's my brother, and I can get away with calling him that. You can too. With Vera Lane, I believe may have had a quarter crack burst out, and as a farrier managed to get her, and she's a filly she's showing some real turn of foot lately too.
Yeah, she's done a great job. The Southwind Franks are interesting to train. They're a bit hot-headed, and I think the track up there would suit those sort of horses. Take the fizz out of them a little bit, but it's looks like got a good turn of foot. That filly, good turn of foot.
Yep, I just called to say for Kylie Sugars was beaten, wasn't disgraced. Wears a lot of headgear, and I think we found out why on Saturday night. Still got a lot to learn.
Yeah, and it's just time. Kylie's very patient. She's great with her horses, and it's been evident over the last 7 or 8 years since Melton Trials have been going, and watching Kylie educate those ones that are a little bit mad and a little bit crazy. And I know Greg would even give her some of the wilder ones to just sit them out the back and follow them around. And she's a very, very good horsewoman, Kylie. Don't worry about that.
Brady Hargraves is watching. Michelle Hargraves just put there. Don't forget the strapper, Paulie. So obviously she was carrying the water bucket.
I don't know. I wasn't there. I didn't make it to Melton Saturday night. So
Ray Woods is there too. I reckon he's still on his way back from Sydney, but that's okay.
No. He's a very talkative trip on the way home. He's a happy man, Raymond.
Oh, he should be too.
Horses are home. He's very happy. We'll
touch on that before we get to Queensland. We got another. This show could go for 3 hours tonight. Alrighty, in the last, Geordie Leedham, well done. He bookended the program. Alrighty's a beautiful trotter by Sky Valley for Duncan McPherson. Great supporters of Campbell's comments. Don't forget, have a look at this one. Have a look at this too. Aldebaran Eagle, standing exclusive in New Zealand. Sire of 100 foals. 48 of those are started. 33 of one, averaging $35,710 per starter. So of those 48, that's what they have averaged. And D Miles, they actually go okay, do they not?
Oh, I think they go fair. They're a bit hard to train. They're they're a bit of a pain. They make you go into state a lot, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, you'd like one in Queensland right at the minute, that's for sure.
Buddy, I would. You're not wrong there.
Contact the team at Aldebaran Park for more on him. He's a lovely horse, alrighty. Previously trained by Joey Thompson. I think that's where the name came from, but he's a lovely horse, progressive horse.
Shout out to Joey too, another one of our family that's not in the best of health, and a fantastic breaker. I know we've had a few horses from Joey over the years that they did exactly what he said they would do. If he said they were going to make it, they'd make it. If he said they weren't, they were going to struggle, or if they did this or that. Phenomenal horseman, spent all his life up in Charlton, and shout out to Joey because I know he's not the best of health. No,
definitely not. Hoppy was terrific for Matty Craven, but it was a long, long way back early on, and he'll have to fix that, the son of Andover Hall, but has got a nice horse. Rightio, you sent 2 to Menangle. We're not going to go through each of the Menangle winners, but you sent 2 up to Menangle. I didn't see Arg's race. I was meant to watch a replay.
I'm still trying to get out. We don't need to cover him at all. Poor Matty Roo got shuffled back in a slow run race, but there were a couple of Group 2s on the night, the 2-year-old and 3-year-old trots.
Here's your horse up the straight in the middle there, Miles. He's the third horse off the fence in the second group, trying to catch Miss Ohana, but you must have been wrapped with his return to the races.
Oh, yeah, he hadn't had a run for 12 months, and he's a maiden taking on Group 2 horses. And Miss Ohana, she's a great little horse. Credit to Courtney. She's done a great job. I reckon there's probably only been 2 or 3 other Art Major trotters that have won. And as we know with the pacing bred trotters, when you get them to click, they're fast. but she just stepped on the lure and was too good. And our big fella was great. Of the others, they were okay, but the winner of the last Gladiatrix of the McDowells is good to see Elite Stride get his first big winner, and Elder Baron Tucker for Marky Hayes, who made the trek up to go up and drive him and have a drive at Menangle for Rob Cross, but the winner slipped home in tick under 28 and was just too good. But Elder Baron Tucker tried hard, but a little bit disappointing. Only a field of 5 for the Sydney Trotters, but as I say, they're getting better. 56 in the 3-year-old and getting home in sub 28s in the 2-year-old. Their Trotters are getting faster and faster every day.
Colin McDowell, no train. His wife Kerry. I'll get into trouble if it's not Kerry or Karen.
I think you're right.
You're just saying you think so. I've said 2 names and you're not brave enough to say either of them, but thank you very much. But got a great group of trotters. They bought a couple this year at the sales as well, so they're really investing in the trotters. Gladiatrix, as you said, only got it wrong in one start. That was last start, but that's okay. It was terrific this week in the $50,000 race. But the other horse was Majestic Funds. At $101 in the race before, gave Leighton a hell of a drive, sitting outside Bailey on the odds-on pop, and you could tell Fred Hastings waiting for it to stop. He's waiting for it to punch, and it didn't. It was phenomenal, wasn't it?
It was a great run. It was great for the bloke sitting on its back to get the lovely 1-1 triple. It was, and then when we pulled off its back and it took us a bit to get past it, I went, wow. Obviously, McDowell's have got their trotters going good, and when one goes good, you learn the routine. I think they found a nice little recipe at the moment, and they're going to have some fun with the trot races up there for the rest of the season.
Anton Galeno with a double for Emilio, Quinella. Toro Stride beating Leaf Stride, which was good. And Matty Rue had a few winners, which was good to get him back up in Melbourne. Oh, actually, he only had 1. No, he had 2. That's right. He had 2. Yep.
Yeah, 2. He ran second on ours, but there's a very underrated driver from the Bathurst area, the Western Districts. My God, he's got hands like silk, Matty, and he completely underutilised. I know he picked up a few extra Saturday night because a lot of the guys are in Queensland, but if it wasn't 4 hours for him to cower every Saturday night, I tell you what, if he lived close, we'd have a full book there every week.
Yep, no, I agree. And he went to America, showed his wares, so he was pretty awesome over there. All right, I'm going to see if we can get Darren Clayton on the phone, Milesy. That won't work. That might. That sounds like it's ringing. We'll touch on Albion Park. He knows how it works. When he answers the phone, I'm live. So hopefully he doesn't put his foot in his word and say something.
Your call has been forwarded to.
He's skidded you.
He's give us nothing. Rightio. Big meeting at Albion Park. He just said go again. Let's see if this works this time.
Go again.
We're going to pump that up. So we'll just go back here and just see if we don't get him. Clearly, it's only a one-way phone. I love those phones. Do you have them? People say I haven't heard from you for a while.
Nope.
Okay.
Darren Clayton, hopefully you can hear us.
I can hear.
That's very good. Dave Miles is on the phone as well. We're just going to start on to the Albion Park meeting. But from your point of view, from the Creek's point of view, how was the night?
Yeah, first night was really good. It was racing was keen and willing. Results were good. Crowd on track was, certainly where we wanted it for the first night of a carnival. So looking forward to what lies ahead for the next couple of nights.
Yeah, it was good to have all the good horses there.
Yeah, absolutely. Good results in the paces, mainly for those good ones. We didn't really have anything with that. As for the trotters, well, the heat that had London to a Brick and Oscar Bonavina was certainly that was a little bit different.
That's one way of putting it. We've got Milesy there on as we go. We can go through each of them just quickly. A couple of things. The point system before we go too far. How do you see it? I have an idea, and it'd be interesting if Milesy's got an idea as well. How did you see the point system working at the start of the night? At the end of the day one.
Yeah, I think it's worked out pretty good from our perspective. it would have been good to see some of those horses lower down in the points get some of those bonus points that were on offer. But, you know, you look at a horse like Catch a Wave, he's picked up some good extra points out of it. Leap to Fame kicks clear with what he has. And coming into night two, well, I guess it gives those horses like Oscar Bonavino or London to a Brick the opportunity to pick up the bonus points and really kick their way up and potentially not miss the final.
Miles, you just asked a question, Miles. You should be right now.
Yeah, could you explain to me, Darren, how the bonus points work for me, please, mate?
Yeah, well, g'day to you as well. Well, mate, good to hear from you.
Yeah, I'm sorry I'm not speaking your reply. You're much better if I was up there again this year, but unfortunately we're not.
Yeah, it would be. And no golf to play this year, so you would have missed out there.
Yeah, I'd have found a golf course. Don't worry about that.
There's a few people that have said the same thing, so there you go. So the bonus points were 4 bonus points allocated per heat. There was 2 points on offer for the fastest last quarter, 1 point for the fastest last half, and 1 point for the fastest last mile. And they were on the individual times through the GPS from the Triple S data. So we were able to collate that at the end of each heat, pull them together, and that's how those bonus points were allocated. So Catch a Wave picked up 3 bonus points. He finished second, which was 13 finishing points plus his 3 bonus points. Meant he ended up having the same points as the winner. For Leap to Fame, he had the 16 points of as the winner. I'd also produced he clean swept the sectional board, so he picked up the 4 bonus points there to take him to 20 points.
That makes sense, Miles?
Yeah, it does. Yep, yes, yep. Leap to Fame slipped home the lazy 151 his last while.
So, I just had a thought because I'm just trying to find the tallies. Where do I find the tallies, Darren?
Go to probably the quickest way is the Creeks X page.
The Creeks X page. Oh, you have to do that. I haven't. Oh, yes, I have. Right.
It should also be on their website as well.
I couldn't find it. I was just looking there. Where would it be? Racing?
Did you have an adult look or a little boy's look?
Hang on. I might have found it because I didn't realise there was an ID 25 page, which will give us a rundown. How do we find the points? Paulie, where would you see all the news? Got to be here somewhere. Pacing.
Ladbrokes 25 scoring updates under the racing tab.
And then what do I look under the racing tab? Oh, okay. Scoring updates. Got right. We're away, Milesy. We'll be away. So don't bear with me. I've just got to work out what I'm doing. Too many buttons to freaking push here. Rightio. So it's on this page here. So if we'll go to the pacing ones first. Oh, that's not what I was after. What am I doing here? I'm doing something wrong, Darren.
You didn't want that?
So what did I do wrong now?
The creek.com.au.
Yep.
The ID 25 tab.
Yep. Then go into the racing. I still can't. I can see the bonus squint, but I can't see the tallies of the paces.
Yeah. So under that racing tab, Ladbrokes ID 25 scoring updates.
Clicked on that, I thought. Uh-huh. Rightio. And now we've got them. Right, we're good to go now, because there is one I want to just query with you, which is definitely on the trotters. But you can see there, Milesy, Catch a Wave. Where'd Catch a Wave run? A third? Second, and then, get to 16 points. And I think it worked beautifully for that horse because he was awesome, Darren, wasn't he?
Well, you look at throughout the night, Pegs was where you wanted to be, and there was very few horses made ground wide out. And the fact that he was one of the widest runners and the way he hit the line, that was pretty impressive.
Tim,
52 for his last half, 25-9 his the third quarter, and 26 for the last.
Yeah.
That's just unheard of, off the track. It's unbelievable.
So Tim's a trooper, or the other horse took 1 point off him. Must have been Tim's a trooper, actually. So, because he was wide as well, wasn't he? He was actually with him at the back.
Tim's a trooper got home in 26-4.
Yep.
No, sorry, not Tim's a trooper. Tango Tara. Tango Tara got home in 26-4. Catch a Wave got home in 25.9.
Were they in the same race, were they?
They were, yeah. Sorry,
Right.
25-9 the third quarter for Catch a Wave.
Yep.
26-4 and 26-4-9 and 26-4-2. So
Yep.
Tango Tara, who was through the fence,
Yep.
pulled a little bit off him.
Yeah, but the other horse was awesome anyway, Catch a Wave. So I think it works there. But the anomaly is when you have a horse, two horses win, but they're actually getting beaten in the points when you go to the trotters on the other side with Gus, in front of Golden Sunset and Bet and Win. That's where there is this anomaly, I think, in it, Darren.
Yeah, can agree there.
Because I think if you win a heat,
Certainly.
you should be rewarded with maximum points.
That's something that we can look at in the review.
Yeah, it was just one of those ones. I don't know.
Because of Gus's barrier manners and him being out of the draw, he has to smash the clock just to be competitive. So
Yeah.
it's a different situation. It's probably one of those anomalies that they hadn't. It'll be the same with London to a Brick this week. He's out of the draw. He's going to have to get into the race. Get into the race and beat the horse that draws one and leads. He's going to have to smash the clock. So there's always that chance of that happening. So it sort of encourages those. Well, it's an advantage for the horses that have drawn bad. But by the same token, it gives them a chance to earn more points because generally when you draw bad, you can't win.
Yeah. No, I do like it. That was the only thing. I just thought, Bet and Win, Golden Sunset have both won their heats, but not rewarded with leading the points tally. And
I think, sorry to cut you off there, Paul, but maybe it's as simple as instead of being the points breakdown being 16-13 first to second, it's 17-13.
something like that. So that, at least.
And then that way you win the heat and say Gus has picked up his full bonus, at least they're equal.
Yeah. Because, Bet and Win did everything right. It was a beautiful drive in front by Bobby Butt. You go as slow as you can winning because you got to race again next week and then the week after. And people can say what they like. But, ultimately, I think, the horse could have gone a lot quicker if he wanted to. But the end of the game, he's trying to win. But you don't secure maximum points.
Yeah, and that's the, I guess with only two heats, does it make a difference?
Yeah. Well, you're going to know next week, aren't you? Because
that's for certain.
If Golden,
and then I guess hopefully I'm not jumping the gun on your run sheet because I know how strictly you keep to those run sheets. But we had some, knockers before the series started on how drawing them out of the hat and not keeping them separate through the series would work. Well, the way it's come out now with Don Hugo drawing one and Leap to Fame is back again not again, but drawing inside the second line for this round of heats has provided a pretty good setup, I think.
Yeah, and that's it's fine. Miles and I will probably go through the fields in a sec, or the race results in a sec, but we'll actually have a look at these fields for Saturday night while we do have you, Darren, as they are coming up. You would have been glad to see Tonkin Stewart's horses are on their way too for the Proto Star, Darren. I think from the club's point of view, that's a great sign. I think they had some ordinary weather to get through, so hopefully they do get there, but I saw they left yesterday on their social media.
Okay, so they're coming by road, are they?
Yep. Yep, Alan McDonough put a post. Well, I'm presuming that's what he said. He said we're on our way. So I'm presuming that's what it is. Hopefully that's right. Maybe I'll put my foot in my mouth, Dave. Do you know anything?
No, I don't think they'll be letting too many people know how they're getting there because they were a bit stiff last week. I know there were some planes, a lot of planes cancelled. Not only horse planes, general planes cancelled last week. But yeah, the way I read the post, it was they're going by road.
Oh, so you saw the same post as me?
I did. Yep.
And it was a little bit cryptic, but it could only be read one way, couldn't it?
Well, it is the trotting industry. We can make up whatever we want, Paulie.
It's got me now. I've got to try and find it.
Don't put too much into it, Paulie. They'll be there.
I've got to find the post now because it's.
They'll be there. They'll be there, and they'll be hard to beat. I think they drew 1-7 and 10 or 1-7 and 11, didn't they? I think from memory.
Yeah, 1-7-10. They might get a bit of a complex though because last week in the the Rising Sun, they were the last two barriers left, so they had to have 7 and 14, and then today they were the last two left and had to draw 7 and 10.
Yeah.
Right, I've got it. I'm just going to put my mind at ease and everyone else's. But yeah, this was the post. Protostar ready, Queensland. Here we come. So they're definitely on their way, mate. So, which is good. So hopefully they'll be there very shortly.
Yeah, well, they've hopefully they arrive safe and sound. The horses get through the trip okay.
Yep.
And 2-year-olds probably having their first trip away as well, I'd imagine.
Be a first long trip. They would have been to Bathurst. One's been to Bathurst, I think, Dave. Or doesn't matter. We're way off. Me run sheet's just gone out the water, Darren. It's all your fault. So yeah.
Darren's fault. Let's blame Darren.
Right. You two know these fields better than me. And yes, I believe. See, look, he's even laughing. So yeah, we have him on visually, but last time he had to put me in a saucepan, Milesy. It's a long story, but he sat me inside a saucepan. It's true.
You're lucky you would have been on the ironing board tonight.
What is it? What is it? Cold, is it?
No, just doing my chores.
That's what he was doing the other day. Anyway, back. Right, heat number 1. Well, heat 4 it is officially going through. Now, these are a little bit differently, but Sure Thing Captain was a heat winner the other day for Shannon Price, Adam Sanderson, and gets another winnable race for this horse, I suppose, guys.
100%. Looks like he finds the top straight up. Tim's a trooper. Yeah, and if he can hold leaders back on his sectional Saturday night's got a great run. Poor old Max Delight's been absolutely cruel with the draw again. And Tango Taro, I would think, be a top 4 spot with the way he found the line Saturday night.
Yep. Darren, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think that I'm not sure how Sure Thing Captain will go over the longer trip. I don't think it should be an issue, but he went in the Queensland Derby a couple of years ago. Probably come on a long way since then, but he finished down the line on that occasion. But his trial leading into this series was super sharp, and then he was good again on Saturday.
Dave, just one for you. Adam said this after the race. He said he can stay all day. It's just how he settles. And I sort of understand his premise of what he's meaning, but can you explain that a little bit?
Yeah, well, he's obviously a big, strong horse. I don't think he's blessed with really blistering high speed. But what we've found now with the American breed coming and the way these horses just hold their speed for a certain amount of time, I think those horses, as Darren just alluded to, they're probably a bit better over the shorter trip because they just go flat out the whole way for the whole race. So for him to get the 2,600 at some point, he's going to have to back off. So I think what, Adam sort of said, was sort of hinting at, he's super strong because he can go flat out for a certain amount of time, but to probably get the 2,600, he's going to have to back off at some point. And there's a question for Darren. Is the final over 26 or 31?
31.
31.57.
Yep. So that will certainly what the wheat from the chaff and the boys from the men, because you know, a lot of them will get to the 26 or even the 22 or 2600 metre mark and go, holy hell, there's another lap.
And just to provide a bit of context around that, because I've been fielded a lot of questions in the last probably few days about why the final is 3100, because obviously there's one horse that looks like it'll really suit that trip, but there's plenty of others as well in there. But when we had to condense the series down to 2 heats and the final, we had a discussion around, well, how do we still maintain that idea of, you know, historically Legacy says we get the strongest horse, win the series or get through to the final with those 3 heats in a week, the following week a final. So it was decided, rather than having mile heats, we have 2 at sort of the middle and longer, and then a final over the further distance again, to really, like Milesy said, sort the men from the boys.
I love it, man.
I think he said wheat from
and if you
chaff.
look at the trotters, sorry, Ollie, but I love it. I think it's fantastic. Yeah, the best horses come to the fore the longer they go, and it's the Melbourne Cup distance, it's the Old Hunter Cup distance, and when you even look at a race like the Elite Lot, some of those horses that go fantastic in the first heat, or the Great Southern Star, they go super in the first heat, but the real tough horses that are built like steel, they're the ones that come to the fore in the second round of heat. So I think it's fantastic. I think it you know, sometimes barrier draws can definitely dictate races, but over 3100, the best horse is going to win, doesn't matter where it draws.
No. And the elephant in the room is actually in the next race. I imagine, Darren, this is the horse you're leading to. So we're staying with the paces. This is Heat 5, race 4. We skipped over the trot. We'll go back to the trot in a second. But this race, this is unbelievable race here with Don Hugo drawing 1. You've got a Rhoda in 5, Catch a Wave in 6, but then you go to Leap to Fame inside the second low, which throws a real curveball to it. And then poor old Nyack, who can't get any luck at all. Goodness knows what will happen to him there. And then you've got Pin Seeker and Better Eclipse, who are both terrific the other day through good barrier draws. This week, they've drawn terrible. I don't think there's a horse that would have drawn worse than Better Eclipse in the highest grade for a long time. He can draw some terrible barriers, can't he?
He can. I think Borough Max Delight's probably in the same boat.
Yep.
He seems to be those two. You know, they probably could earn another 300,000 or 400,000, the pair of them, had they have drawn better barriers. But I tell you what do you do if you're G Dixon here? Wow, what do you do? Oh, it's a great
Milesy, what do you do?
I stay the fence. Brian Hancock made the Inter-Dominion his own by looking after his horses in races like this. And he doesn't need to win this heat. He just needs to sit in there, stay out of trouble. And, you know, if his leader's back, if he's through the fence, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. And it's an Inter-Dominion series. Inter-Dominion heats are great. Winning records are great. You know, numbers of win on end. But at the end of the day, the grand finals are next week, and you know, I'd be staying the fence 100%, punching up and following Don Hugo. If I'm gonna throw a spanner in the works, I just didn't think Don Hugo paced that great Saturday night.
No.
I don't think he handled definitely the bend out of the after the winning post great. He didn't look to travel in a straight line down the back straight very good, and then Luke was very animated when he got him out, reined him up, and really had to ask him for a little bit. So whether he was feeling his feet or a little bit there, you know, I haven't heard any interviews from what Luke said, but he didn't look like he handled the track that great.
Yeah, could he be better for the run? First time back over 1,000-metre track, around 1,000-metre track for a while.
He's got the best trainer in Australia who grew up on that track. I'm pretty sure Luke, you'll know how to straighten him up and you know, have everything set up maybe a little bit better for this week. And you know, I think if I was in Luke's shoes, if I led and leaped to fame, showed me back and beat me, I don't think it worries me because I think he has been a master at being right on the night. And I don't think either of those boys should really be concerned whether they win this week or not.
No. Your thoughts, Darren?
Yeah, I think that's a pretty way to sum it up, really. The thing is, you're probably Luke's going to be leading, you would think, because he doesn't want to take the risk of handing up to anything else off from that front line that potentially carts him backwards when it gets a bit tired.
Yep.
So, he's be confident enough he's got them covered, and it'll become to a I don't know what they called, a stretch drive shootout.
Yep. That's a good way of putting it, up the stretch.
Yep.
Just before we get off that race, Aroda is just an absolute lovely little horse, isn't he? Like, every stable would love to have one of those. And I'm sure, Grant and Trista, with the team that they've got, they still love him. He just tries every week and just presents and does an awesome job for the stable. So I think he's great. And good luck to Benny Setri and the team with Kanina Provlima. He's going to need a lot of luck to get in the final, but we did see him on Friday afternoon, Dave.
We did, yeah. No, Benny made the trek down, which was great. And little Mats, he's been a great horse, and he's a Ballarat Cup winner. And the gate speed, he might have enough gate speed that if Don Hugo just wells it a little bit, Provlima could probably get across him, but the retake would probably be there.
Darren, I'll throw to you for this last heat because I'd be interested on your take. I'll give Milesy 2 secs to have a look at it. No heat winner out of this field, so that in itself is a little bit of a curveball for people. Captain's Knock was outstanding, but he's drawn the car park. Rakiro Rebel, I thought, was terrific as well, but drawn wide. There's a few horses in this out of form. I thought Beach Ball was terrible. I thought Beach Ball's the sort of horse that would have really excelled with Luke, but he was terrible the other night. It's an interesting little race.
Yeah, it really sets it up nicely, I think, the way it's panned out with our random draw for these seats. Even a horse like Speak the Truth, like in that, he drew short in captain's heat.
Yep.
Last week. I didn't think he was that good, considering his run the week before was super.
Yep.
So I'm not really sure where this guy's at. He's sort of been a bit hot, cold. He didn't really hit the mark earlier this year when they took him to Sydney. And then we saw how good he was last week, but then in the heat, he was probably a little bit plain. Captain's Knock, he was super. So, and I know they were pretty confident that they were on top of a little issue that he'd had from the previous run. There's got a bit of a breathing asthma style issue that they think they've worked out. Really, I'm not sure where to look on this one.
Milesy?
Captain's Knock, absolute moral. Absolute moral. Can't get beat. You go through that field, the ones, the horses are inside him. Maybe Speak the Truth can test him a little bit. And the only other horse in the race that went half good last week was Sea Art. Morris's have got him going great, and he can sit on speed, and he's going to get a nice quiet trip. But Captain's Knock will beat them and beat them on the beat.
It's quite interesting, that front line. 0, 0, 9, 0, 0, the first 5 horses. That's their last start.
And Brad will just work forward. He won't have to rush. He'll just work forward, and he's I think he won't go around $1.20, but I reckon he'll if he's not $1.70 and $1.80 pop in that race, I'll be amazed.
There's a big push. Matthew Nielsen on Freethinker is bold. I'm not sure what that means. That's from someone. Oh, Finn Crawford Clayton. I've got a rough idea who Finn Crawford Clayton might be now.
How does he go on there? Block.
Cannot block the number one cameraman in Queensland. Don't you worry about that. He stays there for sure. So, but it is a very interesting race. That race. There is what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 horses with a 0. So 5 horses have finished further back than 9th, like in that heat. So it's a curveball and a half.
Well, it certainly gives them the opportunity to earn those maximum points, and especially with the bonus points on offer to
Yep.
potentially squeeze their way in.
Yep.
You talk about $1.70-ish there, Milesy, $2.20 at the moment, Captain Snock.
Hang on. Just hang on. I'll be back in a sec.
Bet wisely. That's only to fill your glass up because this has gone longer than an hour. So that's what's called.
Just around Matt Nielsen driving Free Thinker. So he drove him in the Redcliffe Cup.
And drove him terrific.
And, yep, absolutely. And he is being kept on because obviously Grant is thinking that he'll potentially have a few runners in the final. So just keep him on through the series.
Interesting. Grant's gone on Captain Hammerhead too, so you never know. He might be able to recapture a bit of his.
It may well swap before this week, but that was why Matt drove him last week as well.
Yep, rightio. The Trotters are a little bit similar. I don't know who I'm up. Milesy, we'll just go to you. We weren't even going to do this. We haven't even done the recap. Milesy and I will do the recap in a second, but I don't care. This is not a bad way of looking at it. Race 3, race 3, heat 3, round 2 for the Trotters. And there's quite a few big guns in this race. This will be an interesting tactical race here. Milesy, your thoughts when you look at this field?
Oh, this is a great race, isn't it? Bet and
Yep.
Win probably finds the front. Tony the Motor's got good gate speed, but you would think Bet and Win finds the front. Golden Sunset works forward. London to Brick. I think 7 will suit him. Interesting that their ODM rules are a little different to most places where he gets out off the front line instead of starting off the back. I'm sure James will have him gotten a bit sounder this week than he did last. It is a tricky track, Albion Park, for the Trotters. I know it's got a little bit more slide in it some weeks, and sometimes you need to have a bit more grab in the horse's shoes. But I think he'll be better. Golden Sunset should get a nice sit on the back of London to a Brick, and then you've got Not As Promised and Gus coming on from the back. So it's a great race, but you would think Bet and Win with the sectionals he can run should lead, and the top 5 runners from last week, Golden Sunset, London to a Brick, Not As Promised, Gus are the ones, but I'm just not sure where London to a Brick needs to run to qualify for the final, and James might have to put the handlebars down at some point and see how good Bet and Win is.
Darren, does he have to do that to qualify?
Yeah, well, he's got to get maximum.
Yep.
I think he's going to be hard pressed if I think 16 will be round about the cutoff, maybe a little bit lower. But even to get to say 13, 14, he's going to have to finish second.
Yep.
And, pick up bonus points. So I don't know how he attacks this race.
Yeah.
That's a real tricky one. Just with that too, so Nathan Dawson ended up with Golden Sunset and Not As Promised.
Oh, yeah.
In this heat, the way they were randomly drawn. He's opted for Not As Promised, and Shane Graham goes on to Golden Sunset.
Wow. Yeah, she was good. Golden Sunset, Milesy. Great mate of yours, Sean Grimsey.
Yeah, that's where we stay when we go up there. He and Michelle have done a super job. They had a little blip on the radar when they took her to Sydney, but she stepped out the other night. It was a great drive. Like, honestly, once the London to a Brick galloped and Nathan worked his way off the fence, that's why he's Australia's winningest reinsman at the moment. And interesting, I think he even opted for the drive before the draw. So obviously he thought Not As Promised was pretty good, but Golden Sunset will lose nothing with Shane Graham.
No, he was awesome. Not As Promised though. I thought he was as good as I've seen him go for a long time, which is good for Graham Dwyer and the Dwyer family. So yeah, with 3 horses in that heat too, so that's a big effort for the guys.
Correct, 100%.
Yeah, they've done a great job.
Yeah. So and then the other heat again. There's going to be so much intrigue in these heats. Oscar Bonavina, he still hasn't got out, and we'll leave it at that. But he's got the barrier draw. But whether he might be able to get crossed, I don't know. He has got great gate speed, but he can jump it off too if you ask him for too much, which they did do at Cambridge that time.
He'll get across there, guaranteed, Polly. They won't hold him
Yeah.
out there. He can't hold those horses out.
So
He'll
it's
get across.
okay, Milesy sets the horses out wider, like a horse like
Yeah,
Parisian Artiste and that.
Yeah, Parisian Artiste flies the gate. Constantinople flies the gate. I don't think they can ask him to run the gate, and I think he's going to be in a lot of trouble, which is going to make it hard for RC Phoenix.
Love Gun, I don't really know. I know Aldebaran and Crux is just average out of the gate, and that's where I wasn't sure whether they're enough. And then that throws a massive curveball for Snooze, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. But he honestly he is the best horse in the race, in the series. He's the best credentialed. His trials down here before he left for Queensland were he's improved 10 metres on his Cambridge win on his trials down here. He is the best horse in the series. I didn't think he trotted the corners that great on Saturday night. I'm sure Chris is going to have to do a little bit of work to get him to trot the bends a bit better. Are a bit flatter, not quite as what he's used to down here with the camber. But in saying that, it's a second round of heats. He's run a third. They don't need to win these races. It's very interesting that the horse in this race that needs to win is probably Oscar Bonavina. And he's the one that you can't ask in the first 200 metres to do too much, or he'll step off stride. So the only other, Harry Stamper will run on, but he can get through it with a top 5 finish. Parisian Artiste, her second, sensational second, absolutely super.
Yeah, he was awesome. Darren, your thoughts?
Yeah, agree. I thought RC Phoenix was really good in the heat, considering he had gate 7. He's a really nice horse. He's had 2 runs at Albion Park now, come up off last year. And, I agree with Dave. I think he is the best trotter in this series. He just needs to get the right gate. Parisian Artiste was really good last week. Constantinople hit the line strongly. So Luke might be happy to push the button early with him to get forward. So, yeah, Oscar Bonavina is going to potentially be in a spot of bother early.
Yep.
Just not one other one to note there too. Tirapa for the Dwyer stable. He actually got stood down last week, so he trials tomorrow. So he has to perform in that trial to take his place in the series.
Yep. But because there's no emergencies, it doesn't matter. They draw him in the field, and if he doesn't do as he's told, he's out.
That's right, yep.
Yep, okay. Which would make it a little bit easier for Oscar. He might be better off. But, yeah. Interesting call, Milesy. Best credentialed horse in the race. You don't rate Oscar?
I think RC Phoenix, and what I've seen over him down here over the last 4 weeks, I couldn't believe how much he's improved. I really couldn't. He's gone to a new level, and I think if he stays sound and trots for the rest of this year, and he has no bad luck, I think he's our next Just Believe.
No, just like 1.16 million. Oscar as one.
I know.
Yeah.
To be fair though, too, they're probably at differing points of their career.
Yeah.
RC Phoenix is on the up, and Oscar's probably
750 for RC, so he's not going too bad either. So dead air is no good, you two. Surely you both should know that.
Sorry, I was just getting some of that 220 Captain Snob.
George Shovlin doing their stuff at the Harbour View in Sunderland. They bought the house down. What's that mean, boys?
No idea, Paul. It's your show.
You got no idea, Darren?
What was the nut? Something at Sunderland?
Harbour View in Sunderland.
That would be in England.
All right. Okay. Good luck to you, Georgie. He's obviously tuned into the live feed. Do whatever you like, Georgie. That's not a hassle. Darren, before I let you go, the rest of the night, any of the other highlights?
Yeah. I'll go back to how that lines up with the bonus points. So normally we would have, like we did on night one, the paces were all 3 heats together, trotters 2 heats together. We've gone pacer, trotter, just to get the opportunity to update those points leaderboards so that when we get to the last heats, each of the pacers or the trotters, those horses in there know what they potentially need to do to maximise their points earning.
Give it a chance to go through there. Oscar's on 6, so he should get through to the final if he behaves himself.
Well, he's got to run.
Yeah, like I said, I think around 14, 15.
Yep.
Would probably be the cutoff. So he needs to finish probably 5th or better.
Okay.
And hope some results go his
way.
Yeah. So the Proto Stars, obviously a big race on the night. You look at last year's and the horses that have come out of it, we're pretty excited about what we've lined up this year. Fire and Passion, he's just a jet. Gets gate 2. He's only got 1 miss against his name, finished 4th. That was the Q-Bred Breeders' Classic, and he was forced to park up on that account. So whether, if Cardigan Dan kicks through or even, something else gets to the front, there might be the chance that they employ those tactics again and just make him work.
Yep.
But he was super the other night. Arcsea's undefeated. She takes the Darren Garrard group slot. Atua Magic, Shane Sanderson today, he was pretty confident that potentially get across. So I'm not sure how that will play out. So could be keen and willing early.
Yeah, he was okay the other night. I was probably expecting a little bit more from him. Just seemed to get a bit lost.
He got a bit lost on the home turn.
Yeah. So interesting.
He'll be better for it.
I thought Michael Stanley's horse was super Saturday night. I thought he was absolutely fantastic, and it was interesting. He had a bunch of runners at Sydney that he didn't go back down home for, and back down to Menangle for to concentrate on that 2-year-old. And I thought he was outstanding Saturday night. If they go hard early and there's one running on, I think he's the smoky.
Yeah. Interesting, Luke. He's got 2 drives in the race too. Which one he picks? That'll be as good a form guide as any.
Correct, 100%.
With the other one. And I see Timmy Teo for Mr. Greg Mitchell. First emergency there, Darren.
Yeah, Gemma Hewitt horse.
Yep.
He's bred by Greg Mitchell, GSM Racing.
Yep.
Pure Grunt is bred by Brad Steele.
Oh, they're all in here. They'll be all flexing their muscle.
Yeah, there'll be I don't know what. Who would be who?
You got that?
I'd say Greg would be more Randy Macho Man Savage, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
He'd be ripping the shirt off and.
I'm not saying nothing now.
That's a bad image. Thank you.
It was worse when I was going to say, Brad might, but no, we don't. We'll just leave that alone. We won't go there. I don't think international affairs with New Zealand and me are real well at the minute. I go down that path, I'm in trouble. So, but a couple have a good night, racing. But it's going to be a lot of fun, that's for sure, Darren. And a much
really looking forward to. I keep smiling as well. The Fleur de Lille, she getting ready for the Golden Girl, which should be a great race. She trialled like a jet. She was super last Friday. Luke's got her right in where he wants her. She was really good. Yep. And the janitor goes around in the Kevin Thomas 4-year-old. That's a really strong 4-year-old race.
Yep.
So looking forward to that one.
Burkakara, what did it do the other night?
He probably just had to work too.
Yeah, too hard. Mid-race. There's Dave's horse, actually. Dave was spruiking this horse at the start of the show, better than Cash. Hasn't drawn great, but was terrific the other night with a 0 next to its name. You don't normally get that, Darren.
No, and that just shows probably the quality of that Rising Sun race. I thought Burkakara made a mid-race move, but I just had a look.
No.
He was on the fence, so it was just probably against them, the speed that they come home. It's hard to make ground.
Yep.
Better than Cash, 10th.
Yep.
So beating 11.6 metres.
and Savage in the line.
Jack's Ultimate Fury, the 3-year-old, was really good in that race. So he's going to make the Derby a great race next week. And just with that, there is a Derby qualifier and Oaks qualifier on Friday night. And the winners of those races, they're not heats, it's just a one-off qualifiers. And the winner of each is guaranteed a spot then in their respective Derby Oaks. So probably might see Captain's Mistress go around in that to win that, just to make sure she gets a spot in it.
What, bowl and under up?
Well, don't talk to me about the Oaks. I tell you, I had a trainer last Wednesday at Bendigo tell me that he had a moral at Queensland Saturday night and forgot all about it, and it paid $34 in the last. LB Ashwood declared it. He said it won't get beat, and it was $34.
And went enormous, didn't it?
How big? Geez, it's savage, the line. I reckon its last 100 metres was as fast as any horse for the night. Geez, it went quick.
Yeah, they're staying. Albie and Taylor are staying on track at Albion Park too.
Yep.
I obviously don't have my phone number or know where my office door is to throw someone a bone.
Tay probably walked past your office 10 times while she was getting there too. You know that. They're doing a good job. They've having winners down in Victoria as well. They're doing a bloody good job with their horses. And actually, interestingly enough, they've got Tay as owners in Fleur de Lille as well. And she's been going pretty good against the boys. So she'll be in that up to ears. Miles, I've got another little curveball for you. Steno, another horse that can draw ordinary. It does not know, Jocelyn Young does not know how to get a nice barrier draw, that horse.
You're 100% right. You're 100% right. And we were talking about owners there before, but they do tell me that there was a very, very excited owner there on Saturday night that won a race that he didn't train. The owner of Golden Sunset, Jason Grimson.
Huh?
I think he might be able. Yeah, he might be able to spend a little bit time in Manhattan.
Oh, rightio. Okay. Very cryptic.
Or is that too cryptic for you, Paul?
No. He actually tuned in earlier on tonight's show. So, no, I'm well and truly aware of it. So, it's all good. So, yeah. I think though, it's where we're at. I'm not sure.
No comment.
Yeah. So, that's where we're at. That's okay. You're a chicken. You came out with the he came out. Did you hear his Freudian slip earlier on in the night, which was intentional? So, I don't think it actually comes as up as one of those. So, is that how it works, Miles?
Yeah, just dyslexia. I couldn't help it.
Dyslexia, yeah. Try and spell that. Go from there.
I used to be dyslexic, but I'm KO now.
Well, he didn't get that for a minute, Daz. You should have seen the look at his face. He went, what?
This show's getting better and better. This is what On Loose Lines is meant to be like. There is nothing else you could say. So, yeah. All right, great, man. I'll let you go, and we will talk to you. But thank you very much for joining me. I'll probably catch up with you next week as well.
Yeah, no, sounds good. Anytime, grab me on, and good to have a chat with you, Milesy.
You too, Daz. Hit him straight, son.
What, does he play golf too?
He tries. He tries that.
Tries.
I'm still on the line. I heard that.
Yeah, no, I hadn't hung up on purpose, so that's all good. See you, mate. We're going to hang up on you now.
I haven't been told he tries since about grade 6.
Did you pass grade 6? Did you pass grade 6?
You got to be 7. You got to be grade 6. You're 17, ain't you?
Yep. Yeah,
it was the best 6 years of his life.
I had to put the Bernie hat back on. I'm going to get in trouble from Darren. Darren's gave me. I did pull it out the other day. I don't know where it's gone to, but I have got the Drivers Series hat here somewhere. He's always wondered where it was. But Mickey Fallou's on, and he's just said good show. But that's the Bernie Harness Racing Club hat. But here's the problem with it. Here's the problem with it, Milesy. I can't do it up. It's made for blokes with very, very small heads, so it doesn't work. But yeah, when I got to, this is a true story, Darren. When I walked into Bernie, the first thing Veggie Mick gave me was a hat. He's like, he knows his hat will get more value than anywhere else. So he's a great man, that's for sure.
I'll have to get to Bernie one day.
You should.
$1.01 to be wearing a red vest.
Yep. Yeah, no, you need to get to Burn. He doesn't race. They don't race until the summer months because apparently the wind and rain coming off that what do they call it, Antarctica, is a bit ordinary. They reckon. So yeah, it gets a bit cold.
Bernie makes Marburg look like Albion Park. The track's that small.
Possibly a fair comment.
It is.
Marburg's small though.
Not as small as
700.
Yeah, Bernie's only 600.
Yeah. Okay.
There you go.
All right. You can go this time, Darren. I'm going to talk to Milesy for 5 seconds.
totally.
I reckon I'll let him go. But thanks for joining me, and thanks for having a bit of fun too, because we got to have fun in this game. It's too serious sometimes. He's gone. He hung up.
He's gone. There you go. He
He
dumped you.
He dumped us. That is okay. Milesy, I was going to go through those races on Saturday night, but we actually went the other way around and did a preview. Was there any other runners that you did want to highlight from that meeting?
Oh no, just the job that Albion and Taylor are doing. It's hard enough to train horses and run your business and do all that, and they've got a newborn baby. I know Albie drove the horses up and then flew home, and they had runners here last week. But listen, that's a remarkable effort to be able to do all that, you know, with your own things going on in your personal life behind you. But he told me on Wednesday night at Bendigo, he said, make sure you have something on me, filly, because he said it's as good as horse I've trained. And I, of course, being a little bit under the weather, fell asleep Saturday night. And when I got up Sunday morning, saw that it won at $34, and it wasn't entitled to win. It just took a little bit, but once it straightened up, by Jingoes, it hit line. And none of those horses, even out wide, were going to get past it. It was fantastic. And good luck to them. I hope they can. I hope they can go one better than I did last year and win the Oaks.
Oh, no, I think, I totally agree with you. And what you said about the family and the family juggle too is one of those things that's very, very relevant, because Tay's up there now with the newborn. So I imagine someone else is up there with her as well, helping, because she is working the horses. The other thing they do so well, Milesy, social media, just promote. To the extent Tay just put a video, like that's why I was pretty confident you know where she's staying, because she walked along the boulevard across the road from the tracks there today. Just random stuff. Just keep doing it. The industry needs us to. Doesn't matter. Yep. No one does it right or wrong. We just got to keep putting it out there.
Yeah, it's exactly right. Yep. No, 100%. And well, they say even bad publicity is good publicity.
Yeah, Freudian slips or something like that as well. They help as well. Actually, Milesy, the other one we have to do is give a big shout out to Jeffrey Webster with See the Stars. Will Rickson in the cart too. That was another great win, wasn't it?
Jeff, he would have been at home on the couch.
No, he was not. Well, hang on. You keep talking about that horse, because I don't think he was actually. Because
it was a great drive. It was a very good drive, very heady drive. Got the work, got the trail on the right horse. When he handed up to that one, I thought, I don't know whether that one will get him in the sprint lane. But no, Will knew what he was doing. That's why he's out there. The big 6'2". I don't know. He's a big boy. He does a good job to drive the winners with the height he's got. So. And horses run for him, and you know, when you've got probably one of the best trainers in Australia, David Aiken, put him on, you know why. And but yeah, no, Jeffrey's wound back the clock. You know, it's
see just here, Milesy. See that driver just there?
Oh my! He put the whites on.
And just because you may not be aware of it, on the Saturday night, that was 5 minutes after the Albion Park race. So he didn't even get to see it. He was on the track. He was on the track. So yeah, at 20 past, he had everything. You could tell he was cold. He put on 20 kilos because he had all the gear on, had everything up over his face. You could tell he wasn't happy.
He would have looked like a 2022 Brett Shipway.
Let's leave Shippy off the show.
Oh no, you got to have a crack at Shippy. Yeah.
No. Shippy's one of the great blokes of this show. But yeah, I did find that. It's funny because when you said that, I was like, no, I watch these races live. I know exactly. I was like, who's driving Jeff's horse? And then I'm like, oh, he hasn't even watched himself other horse win. But that horse is a lovely horse, and great lot of owners in it as well, with John Hawkes and all the racing guys as well. So again, promoting the sport in a different way, but doing an awesome job there, and really nice horse that See the Stars.
Another Ben Stud progeny out of Marco Marley, who was a nice bear.
Yep, went okay. Sweet on Lexi. It's a horse with a lot of ability. Bernie Hewitt, I tell you what, anyone you want to learn how to do, this industry, Bernie Hewitt would be one of the most decorated horse people we've got, up there with any of them. Put Nathan Dawson, as you said, Australia's leading driver right at the minute, on the horse because the horse is getting the better of him, and it almost came off.
Almost did, yeah.
But it's a measure. It's a measure of the guy.
Amazing trainer. I stayed with Bernie a couple of years ago, well, a lot of years ago now, at Bathurst one year. And he came in off a jog trip, Paulie. Now, you'll appreciate this, and the people at Workhorses will appreciate this. He came in off a jog trip after doing 2 laps. And I said, is everything all right? You got a flat tire? He goes, no, I just want to change its bit. I want to put a different bridle on it on a jog trip. And I just went, no, I would have done that tomorrow. I would have jogged it today and then changed it over tomorrow, but not Bernie. He goes to the nth degree to get the 1%ers done. And, and those babies, he gets them up and running. I've never seen a guy that absolutely, he has the gear on the yearlings from Bathurst sales as soon as he gets them off the truck after sale day. I've never seen anybody do that.
Yeah, and he does an awesome job, and he's a lot of fun and good to talk to. But yeah, in his pre-race interview he did, he drove Jungle Dragon, and the question was, centered around why you're driving this horse, and basically the answer was, well, I'm not winning with Sweet on Lexi. It's got a lot of ability. It is got to be a head scratcher for him. No, it's got some rare little acts that it does from time to time. That's for sure.
Yep.
So going from there, Shippy's arm on the HRV diet and smashing it from one Michael Bellman.
Absolutely is. And
geez, you must have been upset that Big Red had to go and drive horses at Melton the other night.
No. I tell you, he's a lucky man. He and Johnny Keldo, I think they were very lucky to get away from me on Friday, because otherwise it could have ended up a lot more messy than it did.
I just liked the way that he was drinking coffees at the coffee van, and he was just loving every minute of it. You could tell.
Produced by the great Michael and Kim Burkett, Michael Burkett of Bombshell fame. They own so there you go, Paulie. You didn't realise they were running that car. That's Kim's coffee van. And Michael Burkett, who he drove a lot of good horses in his day.
I have a lot of trouble with knowing people who say hello to me. Holly, you got caught in the camera, just so you're aware of it. She's brought tea up for me.
My chef's sitting over here. He hasn't even started cooking. I'm not really.
Is that Alfie?
I'm starving. Yeah.
He hasn't filled up your Scotch glass either.
No, I know. Look, this is shocking. It's
no, I didn't know, but yeah, she smiled and said hello to me, and I was like, I'll say hello back, but I didn't actually have any idea who that was. Sean, good head for radio. David Miles Racing Stables.
Sean, who said that?
You might have given him a rap about 5 minutes ago, but I don't.
Is that Sean Grimson?
Yep.
Oh, Sean Grimson.
Yeah.
Oh, Grimsy.
Yeah. So, I'm like, I can't believe you coming out with that one just then. That's got no chance. If I go for a run in a minute, because the cats are eating my tea, because she's just left it over there on the bench. First time David Manning went to shout, and then he found out it was on Milesy.
Yeah. Don't worry, there were a lot of those. So
yeah, I know.
It was a good day.
They went back twice when they found out they didn't have to shout.
Yeah, guaranteed.
Yeah. All right, mate. I'll let you go because, in all seriousness,
look at you. You've got yours.
Spaghetti Bowl, Spaghetti Bowls. Tony Jackson, where have you been tonight? He hasn't been on my show hasn't come up with anything too much tonight, but we've had plenty of people. We'll say huge thank you. Milesy, well done. We are going to do something a little bit more. Kim's Coffee Van is an institution. Okay, so
it is guaranteed.
We are going to do probably a little bit more serious show, a little bit different. We're going to look at the races week in, week out, but I do appreciate you coming on tonight's show. On Loose Lines is meant to be loose, and it was loose tonight. We'll be looser from time to time, but yeah, we are going to try and do it a little bit differently. You and I both have ideas on the industry and the direction we want it to go. It is a great industry. Sometimes we just don't get portrayed that way. That's probably fair to say.
Oh, yeah. Listen, we're fighting for our share of our dollar, and it's hard work at the moment. But don't worry, when RVL are losing money, we're losing money. We're not the only ones, and being in the state of Victoria probably makes it a little bit harder too, because I think the government's doing it pretty tough. But in saying that, we can only do what we keep doing and front up, and as you say, what showed to me on Friday was how people rally around you, and it's a great industry to be in, that's for sure. And if I can just get a little sponsorship from Mercedes or maybe Johnny Walker, we'll be good.
You get Mercedes, that's it. I'm going to have a throwdown. That's all. Benny Smith, I was meant to put his hat on earlier on in the night, but Kaikoura hopefully getting there later this year. But it was sitting down there. It's a little bit comfier fit than Veggie Mix, but it's okay.
You do have the biggest head of any human I know. Maybe Glenn Conroy. Yeah.
Grant Campbell. There's a few of us. Don't you worry about that. So yeah, yeah, it's all good. You can't store brains in a thimble, you know that. So I'll just leave it at that one. So
you are as sharp as a bowling ball, Paulie.
I can say there's some information coming out. There'll be some stuff out later this week, which should be positive stuff for the industry. Don't get set back to have your hair blown back or anything else like that. But the direction the industry is going is positive. Hopefully by the end of this week there'll be some positive stuff, and look, hopefully going forward we can get some more out there as well. So I will tease that little part out there. Milesy, thank you.
Right.
Really do appreciate it. Thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it a lot. And thank you. And hopefully we get that other show going next week, all going well. And we'll do it during the daylight hours, so it'll be a bit easier on you and your liver.
Good. Oh no, it won't be as much fun.
Thanks, mate. Thank you very much.
Cheers, mate.